To share my screen already, and I hope this should all work. Okay, first of all, can you see the screen right now? I want to make sure in school that it
Yeah,
works.
I can see it, or I can see it.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So who was able to log in already? I saw Sarah, you were able to log in, and I think Pasita and Pam as
And I
well.
logged in, yeah.
Great. So I got one bug already that came from Roxandra that she cannot see the dashboard over here. So I just wanted to make sure often it is maybe browser related. And I went through a few hoops in the back to see if there's anything, but were you all able to see the dashboard on your side?
I can, yes.
You can, great.
Mhm,
Okay,
yeah.
so it might be browser related for her, but we'll figure it out. Hi, Sandy. Nice to see you. All right, so I'm gonna take you all through once through each of these tabs here and what's coming. And then I would love to hear your thoughts, your concerns, your feedback, any of this, any questions, obviously, at all times. And feel free also to interrupt me when we are on a certain screen, then we can solve it immediately. But I'm just gonna start where we are here on the dashboard. And you will see before we had a dashboard in app.ai Grimm, the same in the, let me call that the version 1.0, the old version. So we had a dashboard there, but it was named, or it was meant for the workflow, which is now the workflow. Oh, I have to go over to my screen, which is now the workflow helper here. So the dashboard, I really wanted to give everyone an overview because we are all in business, and I'm going to build out the dashboard even further. But for me, it was important for you to see in one view what we have available in our business or what we have done in our business. So I wanted to build an intelligence hub really, where I said, okay, we have created a certain amount of, or we have uploaded a certain amount of documents. We have used these type of prompts. We have used these ones as recent prompts. We like a few certain images. For me, it is important often that apps or software come across as very almost like an Excel spreadsheet. And that's really hard for someone that is heart centered or the way we work actually with plans and everything else. So I added a favorite image section to keep up at all times and to keep me going as well. So that was a little bit, I put everywhere a little bit in how I think and work, but I do need to get feedback from you how you think and work. And we are pretty flexible still, but we obviously want to go down the direction of what helps you save time in your business and what is missing in your business we can actually now create or pull in through AI. There's so many options. I can't even start to tell you about what we could be doing, but it's more important, where are you stuck? What moves the needle forward in your business? And where are the difficult, or where do you still have difficulties where you could say, gosh, I cannot afford a $1,000 coaching experience for 6 months, but maybe we can solve something with AI where we pull in the information for you that will give you the opportunity to work on a small budget. So in this case, AI Grimm here. So most of you have come in this year. So you're still all locked into all of the features, locked into the price you've paid. And going forward from January on, we do need to raise the prices. But right now, as it is, not for you, again, you're locked in, and that's the beautiful part. But also, what helps me the most is because you know the platform already the best is to get feedback in what direction we should be heading in AI Grimm as well as in Blend Precisely. But for today, it's AI Grimm. So that's what really the dashboard is. So just taking you through, the storyboards are currently not available yet. I'm working on them. They're going to be really good new things, and I'm going to talk about them in a moment when we go down here. And also the reports generated relates directly to the Intel Teams tab. So those two tabs are not available, and that's why you will just see 0 for the time being, but it will come. Sources analyzed. So what does that mean? That's really your documents you currently have in your rack system. If you're a premium member or a VIP member, which everybody is here in our community right now, the AI Grimm Society, then you will see the documents library here. And what that means, sources analyzed, really is that we grab your documents and we send them through a specific, and that's why it took so long because, oops, something went off. That's why it took so long because we had over 18,000 documents. Each of the document we have from you needs to go through a certain process so they are actually, I call it AIable, findable quickly with the chunks they are or they have. So each document, depending on its length, went through a chunking process and it basically returned over 130,000 chunks which we had to work with. So we literally worked day and night to keep it all, always everything, first of all, organized. Everybody kept their documents, their chunks, but we had to move it over. And so that's why it really took a long time with interruptions of network. It was a nightmare last week. I'm not even going to go into depth. It was a nightmare, and Mercury retro is happening right now. So we have arrived and we are here. So that's basically the documents which got analyzed, sent through an AI system to really, not an AI system, actually through an embedded system to see what is in the document. So it returns all of the results to you you need when you query them. Too deep, there's a lot of technical parts behind it, but that's just what this tab is all about. Then this one again will be coming when Intel Teams is available. Prompts used, as you can see, I've worked mostly in our QA environment where we tested everything. So I haven't tested many prompts yet here, and I have been refreshing as well. But that is the number of prompts you in general use. And this number here is really the business prompts and the one from the course. So that is the number of prompts you will see here. And it also will give you the time saved per prompt. Now I'm going to go through every single prompt one more time and see what actually the time saving is when you use a proper prompt. This one will tell you approximately what your manual work would be versus what AI Grimm in this case would give you back. Now, there we have some people that can go down rabbit holes, and I completely understand that part because we are looking for the best optimal result always. But I'm taking an average of time savings here. So if I were to sit down and write a 3-part email, how long would it normally take me to write this one, and how fast can I write it with the help of AI and based on my documents? So that's what you're seeing here as time savings. And then images created is very clear. All of the images you create in the image studio over here, the image generator, they will just basically give you a little bit of an overview what you created or how many. Then I thought, recent activity, that's always a nice one to have. Give me a thumbs up when you feel like this is really a good one. Maybe then I can see and feel the temperature. You don't need to talk at all or come on, but if you feel like I hit some of these ones well, then just give me a quick thumbs up or whatever that one is here, because then I can see, okay, this one is well received or not, maybe, or I can change it. So, first of all, this is like an overview of everything what is happening throughout your process. Then the recent activity is basically all of the prompts or activities you've done in the app, which ones you use. So sometimes we start a day and we're like, oh, what did I do yesterday? So you can just come here and see already, okay, I used this one and this one this morning, and maybe you want to go back to them and you can just click on them. And then they bring you straight back to the lead magnet or to the prompt to maybe use it again or not. So the next one is the favorite images. You can favorite them in the image generation tool. And then you can either go back to them, or if you feel like you need a reminder and you created a few images for maybe, let's say, Roxandra, for your workshop, you're just in image mode creation and then you want to remember maybe, okay, I want to use this image on Saturday in my workshop. I'm going to favorite it right now and come back to it later. Quick actions is really, it brings you just quickly to these ones. So depending what you're using, there are just a few quick actions right now here. Some people use maybe the dashboard only, or they use this one. I just wanted to give you another chance to click on something if you forgot what is which what is here. Favorite prompts, you now can favorite your own prompts. So the ones you use over and over and over again, you can favorite them, and then they will always be here available on your dashboard as well. So you don't need to go and search for them again and again. So you can just use these ones and favorite them. Recent storybooks is going to come soon. Recent prompts is actually the same as up here, just in a longer version, and I want to see what I can replace them with. So if you have an idea, I can still use something different. And then recent intelligence reports, again, is the Intel team that's going to come as well. So I'm going to pause quickly here to just see any questions about the dashboard. Let me know. If not, if it seems fairly clear, I can move on, but definitely happy to answer them.
Was the dashboard the place before where we could, like, save our little notes?
This one here, yeah, it
Yes.
was the workflow planner. So I
Okay.
basically renamed them, and I know there are a few areas getting used to, again, a new way, but a dashboard really now is, I think we named it wrong previously. It should have been just a workflow planner, but the name didn't, let me just close, the name didn't come to me. So now I just called it a workflow planner because it's like step 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so going over to the assistant. Now that's probably for all a little bit new looking. And it's always like everything in the beginning, it's completely, um, anything that is new is also confusing. But the two tabs that are really working here is chat with your documents. It was the same thing like before, like the chat in your assistant. And files is the same thing as files. Now it's all going to be in this one window back and forth. And what I now created here for the ease of everything is you can create folders. So I can say, for example, presentation folder for, I don't know, for anything, but you create a folder, it comes up here on the right-hand side. And then you can now select certain documents you might want to have in the folder and move them over to a folder. So I think that was something that I at least have been missing before, that I wanted to have them more organized in a way, like we know how folder organization goes. Now, for everybody that has already a lot of documents in there, it might be, thank you, Sarah, that worked. I know you like this one now. So, for everybody that has already 1,000 documents in there, it might be coming, of course, at a late point. But I think either you can choose to search for certain files and then grab them. Luckily, now you can grab them all and move them then at one point. So if you have named them anything like, let's say, aromatherapy course, Andrea Buget or whatever, so you could select them all and move them over into a folder now. You can also move them out of a folder, and you can also find them still under all files. If you decide to move them into a folder, you will find them in the folder and all files. So that one is a nice one, I think, to have it a bit more organized. You can also just simply delete your folders. It will not delete the documents. It will just delete the folder, basically. Also, what is new now, you have a much better search opportunity. Um, that is here, the manual order. Basically, you can search or sort all your documents, not search, sort your documents in different ways. I mean, more the typical ones, but also from the size. If you know you had a PDF and you uploaded it and it was like a year ago, but you know it was a huge PDF, you might want to go by the largest size first, or the oldest first, or the newest, and so on. So this one is a sorting mechanism which wasn't there before and is now available. Search, that was there before, but basically you want to go back and forth between chat with documents and files. Now, what else is new is that when you now see something is pending for whatever reason, let's say 10 people upload 100 documents at the same time, there might be a pending document then which didn't make it fast enough through. Mostly right now, and that will still change, is it's happening when you save something from your chat. And I will show you in a moment. That's when you just come here and click the blue retry button again, and it will just go ahead and tries to process it again. And it needs the processing. Your document is there. The processing is so it's being chunked and received when you search for it. That's the only thing. So the document is available. That's the 10%. But the back end processing of the document, so you can find it back easily while you're chatting with it, that is maybe something which you need to do. But again, you could search for this one here, processing or not. That is a bug. Let me just grab this one because we have a few of those ones. We have a few processing ones. So the processing one should then show up under processing, and then you could click the blue item. Upload works as previously from your desktop, but now you can put it directly into a folder. And you can also still create the new one here as we had it as well. So you can just copy and paste from somewhere else something in here, give it a name, and then create a document. And then it will be added as well. The upload feature here from Dropbox and Google Drive, again, we are working on. Right now, we wanted to make it all really stable with the features we more or less had already, plus some. But attaching now that you can download or grab file from Dropbox and Google is another step, and that will all be rolled out before the end of the year all. So this will soon become available that you can then upload your documents or your folders from a different environment as well. Chat with your documents. A few things changed over here, or we added actually a few things. You can now add screenshots. You can also upload a file right now for the chat itself. So you can go into your documents on your computer and just add another information file in case you need it. You can filter. I really like this one now. You can filter by document. So if you don't want it to go through all of your documents, let's say you have 1,000, 2,000 documents in there, and you want to actually work just with a subset of documents, you can search for the documents and then check them. Come just click outside here, and then you will just talk to those 3 documents back and forth. So this one is really meant for when you need to dive in and you just need to, let's say, Roxandra, again, just because I know that you need to prepare for a workshop and your workshop is happening on Saturday, but already you have your outline in here for the workshop, you have your slides in here, and you just want to basically write now the announcement email. So you want to write the announcement email based on these 2 documents, for example, only, and not without all of the other things coming through. So you could choose those 2 documents then you might have uploaded before, or hopefully, and say, okay, let's focus just on these 2 documents, and let me give me now a follow-up email after the workshop happened, and then it will give you that information here for these 2 documents only. So that is the select documents filter, where you then can select something here, or you clear it out, or you search for a specific document and check it as well. So that is the latest part. And then this one, save conversation. We had this one before. It's now, it's still the same. It just looks a little bit different, but it saves your entire conversation to your system file system. So it just switched from 1021 documents to 1022 documents. And this one needs a refresh here. Give me an idea about the LinkedIn. That's the one I had in here for testing. And it's saved. So if you have like a long history of whatever you talked here and you're like, okay, there's so much valuable stuff in here, I want to save it to my documents. You can do this with the save conversations. It shows up here in your documents. Right now, I need to just make sure it processes with the AI version in the background. And now you can use the documents in all of your chats as well. So it's going to be available in any of these chats. So this one is a new one. No, not this one, but the saved documents that you can upload an extra file and that you have an attached image, basically, those three are new. So you can take a screenshot of something and it will read your screenshot. It's OCRs basically, and then you can talk about whatever is written on the screenshot. So sometimes when we are on, I don't know, on a presentation, we don't want to lose what is on the presentation. We can take a screenshot of the presentation and then add it to here, for example. Sandy, let's go. I love that. That's easy now for me.
Um, you showed the documents. Will we be able to rename them?
The documents in here, when you basically uploaded them, you can right now rename them. I know there was the wish of renaming documents when they come from your PDF, and that is still in the works because that's actually quite more involved since the document comes from a different source. We have more control over a document that gets created inside here. That's why we can rename these ones that we just saved from chats. But the ones that are coming in, let's see, like a PDF, for example.
Well, that's what I was asking. Like, if
Yeah,
we decided, oh, I didn't really want to save it under that, like with what it first grabbed it as when you said save it.
yeah. So it would come up, and here it just comes up as a regular one. So I would need to then right now save it under a different name outside. But we are looking into the way on how we can rename it inside here. And that is something I think Roxandra wanted as well, right, Roxandra? Yeah, I think so. If we can rename
Yeah.
documents inside of here. Yeah, so
But I
uh,
think the folders are helping already if we don't get, if you don't get to that anytime soon, because you can move the documents in there. So it makes it a little bit easier to find then.
right. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it would be really nice. I totally understand why you would want to do it. Because it's then easier to find. So yeah, so definitely those ones are they're part of uh, what is going on? Are you still there? Yeah. Okay. No, that was me. They are part of the roadmap still. I actually wrote it down one more time. Our list is so long that we want what we want to still implement, but I want to make sure I implement the things first that you want to have on here. So the renaming, I heard from Roxandra, now from Sandy, and then, I will talk to Seth about the next steps there. But let's see, are there any other questions? So obviously delete is possible, as always, that was there before. But are there any questions? You can clear your chat here. You can hear all your saved chats from before. You can rename them. So if you're in a chat window, for example, and you want to rename this one, then you can go ahead and rename this one. Oh, it doesn't stay open too long. Okay, let me just, the rename, I need to have it stay open longer. Okay, so you can then normally rename the chat and it will give you the possibility to save the chat then under your new name. If you want to start a new chat, you simply click new chat, and you can also upload files from here, from the document site as well as from the files one. That's the same upload button. So that is everything with your assistant. And some of you have renamed the assistant already, which is sweet. And that was something that came up, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I don't know, somebody might remind me when I mentioned this, like, what would you call your name? So you can go into settings, come down here, and then just rename it to whatever you want to call it. and then the assistant is named Katrinchen now, and it will stick there. So you can have your personal assistant basically renamed, and it will stick around, but you can change it around as many times as you like. Just a quick note, these chat windows now are a little bit new. You have the AI model still here, and you have the persona still here. So they just come up as one, and then you can choose if you would want to do something that's a bit more space saving this way. Yeah. Any questions around the assistant right now? And if not, I move on. But if there's anything feeling off or right or good, do let me know, and then I can get a feeling for anything. Let me see if there was a chat actually. We do it. Oh, now, okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see it, Sarah. I was wondering. I can't hear anything, but now you can. That's good. Okay, okay, good, good, good. All right, so let's move on to quick chat. I don't know if you saw this one before, but it was pretty much hidden in all of the business prompts. There was a quick chat area hidden inside here. I took those two out. So basically, what these two do is pretty much the same what you get with ChatGPT and or Claude. So normally a pro subscription to either one of them is $20 each, and so it's $40, but you can now just go ahead and say, okay, somebody asked me, when do I use ChatGPT and when do I use Claude? So I'm a big fan for ChatGPT if I need some kind of a quick idea brainstorming, or if I need lists, or ChatGPT is much more practical. Let's put it this way. Claude is practical, but at the same time has more feelings around it, if you can say that. Actually, it's better for writing emails, for stories, for workshops, for I really personally love Claude much more. Cats are opening doors now, in many ways. But when it's just about a quick exchange about ideas or some lists or so on, I do use ChatGPT. So you basically can this one is with no prompts. Our business prompts. We have our business prompts, and they are great for many detailed work items, like when you need to write email sequences, when you need to have prompts, when you need to go into ideation or something else. But they all have a custom context prompt from me developed in the back end. So they always go in a certain direction already, because the outcome needs to be that you get an email sequence. Hello, welcome, subject line, bye bye, bring everything over in, I don't know, 200 characters and so on. So that is all defined in the back end from me. But the quick chat is basically an open one. So you can use either one of them and just chat away, where you basically would start chatting with a new idea of anything. So when you come up here and you say, I want to start a new one, you can also just choose one of these icebreakers, we call them, where you can just say, help me write a professional content. Can you assist me? Or you can say something similar, strategic planning, analyze this data. And I will have probably a few more. But basically, you can just shoot what you need, and then it helps you in any way or direction. So this one is much more for early brainstorming, getting you into a certain direction, and then you can use this one. So here, the same thing, you can copy just a piece out. Like if you like one specific answer, you can copy it out to your clipboard and use it. Or you can also save the entire conversation to your assistant. And that only is possible for everybody right now that is the VIP member. So all others do not have access to the assistant or saving entire chats. That's only possible with the plans you guys have right now. So you can go on and on and on and change your voice and change your thing here between the other OpenAI. So ChatGPT is one LLM, and then there's Claude, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Grok. There are so many other ones, but each of them costs every time the professional version $20 a month. And we are trying to actually give that to you here inside, so you can just go on with the regular ones. The same for Claude. So when you want to chat with Claude, you have different models for Claude available here. The Opus one is the most advanced and powerful, very deep thinking. So it takes time to think deep, often not needed. The most you can get out is basically Claude Sonnet 4 or 3.7. Even it's very balanced and beautiful in the way it answers you back. So that is the quick chats. Any questions around the quick chat items here? Let me know. Looks like that's pretty explanatory. All right. Business prompts. Not much changed except a few images. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. If there's basically the same category still, they might show up a little bit differently inside here now. So they have a little bit of a different look and feel inside. It's not these big things anymore, a little bit more elegant, a little bit less colorful maybe, but they still have the colors on the side and a bit more of a description. And you can like any of these prompts by simply checking the little heart, and then they will come up to the dashboard. So I would see what prompts you use the most and just make them available to you on the dashboard for quick references. And inside, it is actually pretty much the same way we saw it before. You can retrieve your information from your files when you're a premium or VIP user. So you can say, what's the main topic? What is the title or main topic of your lead magnet? You can say, retrieve my workshop about 101 essential oils, which I don't have in here. And then you can click the retrieve button. It will come up with this message, and then it will actually retrieve the information back in here, which is right now not, I mean, I would need to go through this, but I don't have anything about 101 essential oils in this one. So you can use the retrieve button from your assistant, or you can just type in what it is. So that's, just answer the question basically, and then click generate again, and it will generate the same way as we saw before. Let me just put in test. Right now, there's not much intelligent stuff coming out of test. You can change the model and the voice again. And then you just wait for the answer, and then you can continue to chat as you know it already. So that's then available as well. What I do want to see is that we get more space between the top and the bottom, so it's a little bit more open. But I noticed the response contains some placeholder test. Yes, that's correct. So it's not going to be that accurate. But anyway, so same thing, save everything to your files if you want to, or just copy this message if you want to use it in some kind of different platform. And then you can continue your conversation with the specific to find the lead magnet you want. And that is pretty much the how to use the business prompts. The strategic bundles now, as we know them, as if you need to go into lead magnet creation, there is something where you want to brainstorm the idea of a lead magnet, you want to create the lead magnet, then you want to have an email sequence for the lead magnet, and so on. That's under strategic bundles. And simple email funnel, advanced YouTube workflow, those ones were there before with the images, and I'm still thinking of getting those back maybe. Case study writing, skincare product creation set, ads with Victoria. So you can see they all have multiple prompts, meaning they belong together already. Those ones are our workshop, our strategic bundles. So if you need to write a pitch, there are 8 prompts involved when you create a pitch. And then they are mentioned as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you can go one by one through. So the bundles, I don't know if you like the bundles or not, but I find them helpful to think of a business task you need to complete. And there should be probably something like, I need to create a workshop. What do I need to think about all when I create a workshop? Well, you need an outline. You need a presentation, slides maybe. You might need to have handouts. You might need to have emails. You might need to have like something about yourself and so on. All of these sections, they will here show up under strategic prompt bundles. So they're definitely meant for taking like a task. So if Sandy comes to me and says, okay, my goodness, in 4 weeks, Katrine, I need to do this, this, and this, I would then, for example, go out and research if I don't know the topic and or ask Sandy is like, well, what is needed for all of this? Let me put this all into a strategic bundle for you and others then to get the work done. And we've done all together Ben's YouTube starter flow is like, what do we need to think about? Because often when we do something new, we don't even remember what needs to go into all of this. So when you create a YouTube channel, what should you watch out for? And that's what these bundles are really meant for. And you, again, have access to all of them, while any tiers in pro or free, they do not have access to them. But you have access to all of them. So that's just something which is our strategic bundles, but they sit within the business prompts. They sit here on the top right, in the top right. Okay, so that's basically where we are. You can search for a few prompts, definitely heart them. Heart them if you want to continue to use them over and over again. I use, for example, the YouTube summary, the YouTube, which one was it? The YouTube, I should actually heart it. I use the transcripts summarizer, um, the hook generator. Those ones I use over and over again because I'm a lot in YouTube. So I use those ones and they're super practical. I just put my transcript in and then it does everything already as I need it on my YouTube channel. So it's super easy then. I love in general transcripts. By all means, sometimes you could take the transcript summarizer, for example, and use it for an email as well. So you can misuse or whatever you want to call this, a prompt as well. So if you feel like, oh, cool, like a summary of what I said in the workshop online the other week, I could use the transcript summarizer just because you like it, because it gives you keywords, it gives you a subject line, it gives you key points, take away key points, and so on. So you can use other ones for whatever other work you might find helpful. I don't always use the transcript summarizer to just do the YouTube. I use it also for other things like, quick community posts, for example, or something like this. So getting to know prompts and figuring out which one can help you along the fastest is a good way too. And if you feel like there's a prompt missing and you do something and you don't find it in here, do let me know. Just go to the community and say, this is the work I do over and over and over again. I just want to have something which I can plug in and then get the outcome in a minute. All right. Any questions around the prompt library? No? Good. Self-explanatory too, pretty much. Yeah. Workflow, nothing changed here. Maybe just the look and feel a little bit. So if you need to do content and social media today, then it would give you an outline. Let me just go back to and write. So today, for example, I need to have like a live summary. I need to write an email and I need to write an email about my life. And I need to write a social media post for Instagram, for example. So you go here and see if we have any of the prompts that will help you actually go further with it. And it will give you the videos, transcript summarizer, the YouTube live email generator, and then also a prompt navigator. And then you can pin this plan, and it gives you an immediate checklist actually. So you have it pinned over here, and you can then see the goals you have is for today video transcript, YouTube prompt. And then when you go ahead and click it, let's say you go away from this site and you come back, it's like, what was it again? You can just go to your pinned plans and then go back and say, okay, I did this one, I did this one, and I did this one. Congratulations, you've completed your tasks. So then that helps you to stay on track as well, especially when this new thing is coming, which is also going to be very cool to create your own prompts. So that is then even more exciting, I think. So you go back here, you put in what you can put in, and just tell it what your daily wish list is of what you need to do, and then it will show you the prompts that are accessible or available to you, and they will show up. And then obviously you can come over here. What did I do first? Let me just see. Why don't they come? Okay. Ugh. Sometimes it's just what it is. Okay. So you can normally come over here and then delete them out. So good that I'm going through all of this. All right, so that's the workflow, and that's a pretty straightforward thing. It's more meant for you to be on track with everything. Let me go over to the image generator. That is a little bit new. I gave just a little bit more context, and also what you get now is just a few prompt ideas here. You can copy out and just see how they work and put them in here. So the schnell is really what it says schnell. It's the fast one. It's not the most precise one. It's something where you just maybe need something quick. It's still amazing. It's, don't get me wrong, it's still creating, but it's not good with text, for example, as good as the context is or the open AI. So you have access to all three of them. And that is because you're VIP. You pro and tier pro pro and free don't, because everything costs money. So we need to always make sure that every tier has the right thing. So you can copy these ones out. You can go to every prompt. They are here, or to every model, and you will find 3 example prompts, and they're quick prompts basically, and you can copy them out and try them out or reword them for yourself. And then you can come down here and you paste them in. Now every model, that's also something always very special. Every model has a different set of image ratios it allows. So you don't know that unless you go deep in. It's like, oh, which image ratio can I use for OpenAI? Well, for OpenAI, they don't give you a lot of options. They give you 3 different image sizes you can create with OpenAI. With Flux, however, you have more possibilities here. But every image model is different, and that's why we now added also like a little, see the hover over. The full portrait, for example, is for stories and reels and TikTok and shorts. So I made sure that I went into all of these ratios and looked up for you already where you could use it. So you just hover over and see, well, when do I need the 4:5 portrait? Well, Instagram and Facebook feed is vertical, so that's when you maybe need those ones. And then you can just put this in. You can put in here, many more art styles are available to you now. Before we had a few, now you have any of these ones you can use, and you click generate. So that's anyway a great part in the app. Obviously it takes a little while depending which model you use. It will take a moment. It will come up here, and it will also give you what you used and the prompt you used now. Then you can open it up and you can download it and you can hide it or you can delete it. That is the new image improvements we've made. More styles, better aspect ratio relationship to the model you use, a few examples for you so you can get started with different models. And then it saves now the images. Before you weren't able to save them in your, now you can see what you've created before, and you can then still reuse it every time or delete it out, for example. Trash it. Yeah, any questions around the image generator?
No questions, but I like that we can save the images now.
Yeah, isn't it yeah, I think that makes it a little bit easier to see and visualize which one was it that I liked or used or whatever, and then you can heart them and they come on your dashboard back up. Yeah, exactly.
I
All
like
right.
the explanations, like where you hover over, because a lot of things I wouldn't know unless what
You
I
would
should
need
use it
to.
for. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like
You would
that.
research it. Yeah, the one by one, so the square one is often used in pretty much all social media and advertisement even. So that's a very universal one, but sometimes we do need different aspect ratios. So now we have them available and talk about it and see what it is. And over time, I will find more image models because every image model does something specifically different. Um, and there are many out there at this point. So we'll see. All right. So the AI Grimm Course Studio, you know that we have our AI Grimm courses in here, the classroom. I need to update them still, but each of those ones right now go to our AI Grimm Studio, which is sitting somewhere different still, but you will find them all in here as well. So module one with 3 prompts is here. This entire course, when I created it, was meant to really give you the opportunity to go intensively through creating a digital online product, a workshop, a course, a webinar, a membership. All of these prompts, all of these teachings in here are meant for you to do online, to create an online business, basically, next to maybe having a product business, or next to not having a product business and only wanting to do online. So each of these lessons are now they're here, but you will find them in here. They were already there before, but I think not many of you knew that maybe, but definitely the raw truths, the client journey, the target audience analysis, free to paid community strategy. Right now, if you have a free school community or a free Facebook group or whatever you have, how do I get a free community to a paid community? So there are all these little helpers in here to think about, how do I want to make residual income with an online business, specifically to courses and memberships, but also webinars and workshops. So they are all in here and you can use them in here. The course anatomy is a little bit like an outline, what is important about lessons and the lesson structure and how to create a single lesson. That's a nice one to try as well if you need to create any online workshops or courses, and always try to think a little bit, okay, a lesson could be a live lesson, but it could also be a webinar lesson, but it could also be a course lesson. You know, we have lessons throughout our entire life. If you become flexible in your mind on how you can use all of these different ones in different areas of your life, you're basically quadrupling the possibilities on how to use the prompts as well. They're not just for one thing necessarily, but I had to obviously name them for one specific thing. But yeah, they function the same as the business prompts as well. And the last one is the mega content creator. That's the 19-piece one. I know that Jean is a big fan of that, and maybe a few other ones, where you basically put in a piece of content And then it creates, I just did a few, it creates a whole bunch of 19 different possibilities, from paraphrased over a mid-journey prompt. You can use even these image prompts. You could also use in our image generator a revamped one. These are the 19 pieces of content that you get from just one piece of content. So this one is available. If you don't have lead magnet ideas, let's say you read a great article somewhere and you're like, wow, that is so out of this world. I would love to, I don't know, create a lead magnet about it. You can post the transcript in here and see what kind of ideas it comes up with a freebie or a lead magnet as well. It gives you 10 different lead magnet ideas and then gives you an entire checklist already you could use as a lead magnet. And then it will even give you an expanded version, like if you're on Twitter, like a quick Twitter snippet, or Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, key takeaways, and it goes on and on and on for 19 pieces. So you get 19 pieces of content from one piece of content, completely revamped and rethought. Does that word exist? Rethought? Rethinked? I don't even know. So that is right now what is available. The settings down here, you will find a few new ones. The plan and the AI persona is already here. You can set them as default. I made this one a little bit more in depth because if you really truly want to speak in your tone of voice, you need to give it maybe a bit more thought in who am I? What is my mission? What are my values? And then create the persona you want it to be. Like you could call it Sandy, Roxandra, Pam, Pasita, Sarah, and so on. You just name yourself, but use then, for example, the words you use a lot. If you listen to yourself from an online workshop, or if you just talk to your husband and you record yourself using some kind of a recording device and you feed it back into a transcript, and you can then say, choose or look for all of the words I'm constantly using in my conversation. What do I say? And then you can add this tone and the audience and the guardrails. What do you not want to say ever is, don't talk about, like, what are your values? I never want to say something wrong about, let's say, dilution ratio or something like this. So you can add this. I would take a moment, if you haven't done your own persona, I would literally take a moment and create your AI persona in how you talk, what your values are, and who you are. And the best is really to you could even take the quick chat here. If you've never done this, I would use Claude. And then you say, okay, here are 3 of my emails I write. Here's a newsletter I write. Here is a transcript when I talk to a friend. Now search for who am I, what stands out, what words do I use? And I would say I would spend on that a good hour for sure to just collect everything and see who it is, and then create this persona so you can have more your tone. So you can see I have here a few other ones in already, and you can look at them, how they have been written, and see if you like them or not, or use them. Sometimes we need a persuasion wizard, when you do sales emails or something else. Maybe it's too much. Here's a test persona we don't need in here. Okay, so you can see and play around with this. So that's under account settings, add your own AI personas, and you can add as many as you want. You can have a Roxandra that does casual talk, a Roxandra that does client talk, a Roxandra that does I want more course talk or something like this. So you can choose your personas and add as many as you want.
I actually
I
like this feature that we can have more than one persona in there now.
Yes, yeah, that is really, I think it is helpful because we are all so different and AI isn't necessarily.
Mhm.
Now, with the system, the assistant you have, at least it gives you already 95% of the truth, right? While when you go out and use ChatGPT or Claude, there is so much hallucination in there that it's not even funny anymore. So nobody in their right mind would be using it and taking it as it is. But obviously, it's great for ideation or brainstorming.
Mm.
But now adding your persona on top, it really makes it way more valuable to anything you do. So I think so too. Yeah, I love that we can do that. So, any questions around the image generator, AI Grimm Core Studio, or the Mega Content Creator? Let me know.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say some of this I had never gotten into yet. So it's great to see it, even if it was there before. I never knew about the mega content thing,
Content
and I
Creator.
wasn't sure about the persona thing yet. So I'm glad to see it and have a recording to I can go back to and get it
That's
set up.
good. Yeah, and we have already use cases in our classroom as well, but now with this new one, we have here, Katrine, use cases, how I use the assistant. But I will continue to add more to these ones to just give you ideas, because sometimes, I mean, I work with this thing pretty much every day, 12 hours right now, or even longer, I don't know. So I know it in and out, but it's really good for me to know where it's missing still, or maybe it's not even the tool that's missing something, but maybe you haven't seen. So you might see me repeating a few things just in case you haven't watched the other video. You might see and watch this video then. And I agree. So this here, the AI content creator, by the way, was the very first AI tool we built 2 years ago. And that, or a little bit longer even. And that is one that's also being used, obviously, now because it's 2 years out already. It has been used the most as well, because it does give someone that is completely new to AI like a really good overview of what's possible. All right, so just a few quick things. My storybooks, Intel Teams, and build your own prompts. Those three are coming. Build your own prompts is really meant for you building easily your own prompts that are being then added not to the business prompts. You will have your own section here, but maybe it's like, okay, every week I want to send a specific newsletter out, but I don't want to write it the way Katrine maybe has put it out. I want to write it the way I want it. So you have always end with many greetings, Pam, for example, or hello everyone. Maybe you have a different greeting than I have. I have sometimes hello lovelies, hello everyone, or hello, or happy Monday, or happy Wednesday. I have a specific way on how I write my emails, and you will have a specific way on how you write your emails. Now, when you create custom prompts, I will have a little helper in there how you can create them, but you can then put even more your own tone and voice in there. So depending what you do in your business over and over and over again, you have probably a list of how you do things. It's almost like a standard operation procedure list. You can now put them then into your own prompt, and maybe you have 10 prompts you will then personalize and use over and over again. So instead of going into ChatGPT here, for example, and saying, hi, I need to know what I can create in my workshop, in my aromatherapy workshop, the prompt would be much more elaborate. It would be more of I am an aromatherapist with 30 years of experience. I've gone through so and so many roles, and this is your role now. So pretend you're an aromatherapist that is 30 years in business, knows everything that Tussaron ever has said, knows everything about dilution ratio, knows everything about chakras, knows everything. So you're creating the prompt and put it out there as it has to be. You give it a profession, you give it the exact guidelines it should do, and you give it what you always do, like always greet my members with Happy Monday, and always say hugs, Katrine. You can do all of that in your own custom prompts then. So that's coming. My storybooks will be project based working. So if again, sorry if I don't have more examples right now, but Roxandra, you're doing your workshop on Saturday. So you have a project. That's a project in itself. You need to maybe buy supplies. You need to write emails. You need to communicate with the library. You might need to know library rules. You need to make, you have a whole bunch of things. So this project is going to be in storybooks. You will have a folder that's called Workshop at the Library, and you can put all of your materials based on that workshop into that part. And then you can also go back to this one. Oh, what did I do 2 years ago at the library again? And you will see all of your documents back. Then you can chat with those documents only. And then you can also have different outputs. So you can create your worksheets, you can recreate something, you can say change the date to 2028 now, and so on. So that's coming. That's why I call them storybooks, because it's more project based. So that's the very last thing I'm super excited about, because often we work in compartments, more in buckets, right? So Facebook ads, maybe, or we think of workshops. All right, so I'm opening up the room for any kind of questions and answers or whatnot else around any of the new 2.0. So first of all, do you like it? Do you like what you see? I get a heart from Pam. You can definitely unmute as well if you like. I get another heart from Roxandra
I
and
love it.
Sandy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know it is new and probably overwhelming. Tell me, I mean, really let me know what you think.
Well, I have a bit of a problem.
Yes.
It's more of a, well, less a problem, more a wish. I've been looking at this and wishing that I could just make a living from using this amazing platform instead of actually doing any real work. It just,
Sarah, honestly, so you could become, I'm just talking out loud, because
I
you
enjoy
could,
it so much. It's so much fun. I was thinking, why can I just not do this every day and not have to worry about doing other things to make money?
but you know how many people would need help in different areas, and you could use the tool to give that, to give the results. So let's say you have a client that does, I don't know, let's say tattoo work, and he doesn't know how to write emails. And you could say, it's like, okay, give me your details and I will write all of your emails. And then you have Grimm doing that for you for the specific client.
That's a good idea, actually, because I've literally just joined a women in business networking group, and
Oh,
it's so supportive. But there are so many different fields that they're working in. But yes, I haven't thought of that, so that's a good idea.
yeah. So you could then use the storybooks for clients. The clients have then their own little folders, and you can actually put their information in and just do the work for those clients then. So
You might
yeah,
you might get some new signups, actually.
and you could always, of course, use the affiliate link, which is a 40% thing,
Mm.
40% commission as well. If you feel like, why can I not just sell the platform? Please, there's so much work in that thing. Please sell it. Go
well,
and sell
well, it's
it.
just amazing. It's just, oh my God, and while it's been down, I've been like had withdrawal symptoms. I'm sure you're all the same. put a heart if you think,
But you
oh,
know what?
where's my assistant? I need it. What the
I
hell?
had the same thing. I had the same thing, and we really, really underestimated the amount of transfers in terms of time. I don't think we thought of network issues, for example. Of course, you should think about that, but it's like, oh my God, if the whole day because of a storm your network is down, what are you gonna do? You need fast internet, right? And we are like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. But also the testing, it ended up, you saw, I still found 3 more bugs. the testing was crazy. If something worked, something else didn't work. And I don't like shipping stuff that doesn't work. It will always happen with software. But thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience.
Is
That's all.
it ready yet? Because I went on today to have a look because I saw that you said, oh, it's live now. And I went on
Yeah,
to
it
have a look.
is.
But I couldn't do anything. It said my files hadn't been uploaded. And so I couldn't use any of the
Oh,
assistant or the prompt or anything. So I was just wondering,
really?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you should. So I know Roxandra had a problem with getting to the dashboard, for example, which I'm not sure anymore what to
So
do.
it's not getting to the dashboard itself. It's just that it shows everything on the left hand side, all that drop down there, the dashboard and all that. But then
Yeah.
on the big screen, it doesn't show all the other things. It would give me that error message saying that the page not found.
Yeah. So that
But then I
I
would click
just
on the
didn't have access to
dashboard,
it. Did you not
and
have
then it would
access?
open it.
So Pam, if anybody else went online, Sandy or Pam or Pasita,
I haven't yet.
okay,
Yeah, I've
because
used mine. I've been able to log in and work.
Really?
Mhm.
It worked perfectly fine yesterday, and I don't know,
Yeah.
like today when I tried to open it, and I was like, "Don't tell me it's down. I need to work."
yeah, no, it is not. So you know what? I would love maybe Roxandra if we can get on one so we can see exactly your screen and then see what's going on. Because I chatted with Cynthia, she was able to work in it. And so here's one thing which can, because we changed platforms, you all have a cache and a history, a browser history. So sometimes because we are using the same name, app.aigrim.com, it has a huge caching issue maybe in the background. So if you don't mind clearing your browser history, try that once and just see if it would work, or incognito or a different browser, just to see where the problem is. Because I tried Safari, I tried this, I tried incognito, I tried 4 different accounts after I got your message, Roxandra, and I couldn't replicate it. So it's often then easier or better maybe to jump on a one-on-one call, and
But I
then
thought
we can,
it was funny that if I so when I did it the incognito, like you said,
yeah.
and when I clicked on the link in your message, I would get an error message. If I copied and pasted it to open the site, it worked perfect. What the
So
heck?
then it is definitely, so go to your browser history here,
Yeah.
history, and clear it completely out once. For at
Mm,
least you can see, you can maybe type in app.aigrim.com, and then maybe something something comes up. So if you saved it anywhere in your browser history,
I
the
did.
old version, yeah. So try to delete it and clear it
Okay.
out, because it's 2 different platforms. And then if it still doesn't work after clearing everything, deleting,
Hmm.
um, then let's hop on a call and make sure we get you there,
Okay.
because it should work. So it's up and running. I tried it on Seth's computer.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's something then we need to do one-on-one, because it could be computer related or cache or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But don't assume it's your fault or anything because
No,
it's
like I
software.
said, once I am clicking on dashboard and everything is showing up, I can work in there without any problems.
Okay.
It's
That's
just
in
that initial, if I click on the link to open, it's giving me that error message. And I'm like,
Yeah, and another thing is as well, for us, it's so much easier to see like what you sent a screenshot, or because you have a lot of different 404 errors, 5,000 errors, 500 errors. Like it's really important, these error messages, for us to see and or to watch live, because we normally go then into the inspect tool, and we go even much deeper, and we can read all of this, what is foreign to others, like when there are error messages, some are, it doesn't matter, others are important for us to know. So we might want to say, okay, right click on your console, and then we can see more. um, Beautiful stuff, looks really pretty all in the back end, really nice. But Seth is so much faster with that than us maybe going back and forth, especially if you need to get work done. So Sarah, if you see that, if you have that, I would also say clear out your entire history, anything you ever did with AI Grimm or app.aigrimm.com, and try to log in again. And also, I don't know, for everybody else that is experiencing that now, because it's a complete move from one platform to another one.
Okay, I'll clear it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And then think about that. I mean, you can make it right now. They say it's the hot time to make really quite a bit of money with just serving others as a service-based business. And you can use so much from this and send over, because 98% of people are still not using AI.
Mm,
So small businesses, especially around you, could be, a good target if that is what you would want to do. So
definitely.
yeah, I would just offer a couple of services for free and see how they like it and how you feel about it, and then put a price tag on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, because it's all, similar sort of things,
Yeah,
holistic type things.
yeah, yeah. You might have a business there. All right,
I'll
Cindy, thank you
be
so much.
posted.
I'm so glad. Okay, so if you find anything, I mentioned that already, bugs occur, bugs might be there. We tried our best, but definitely we are much faster in fixing it now because the new platform also allows us to do that. So, yeah. Pasita, do you have any questions? She's at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the Philippines. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Well, I'm looking at the assistant, and it looks like all my files it says failed. Why is that? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I'm going to check yours out because they should all have like 100%. There might be a couple of files which you need to retry, but normally they should all be there. So I will check
Okay.
that on the back end, Pasita.
Okay. Thank you.
You can send me in a maybe private chat just a screenshot of that with just one small
Okay.
window or so, then I can trace it back easier.
I'm in the
Okay.
same
I'll
boat.
do that.
My
Sandy?
Yes, mine also failed as well. I got in and everything looked good, and then when she said that, I was like, "Oh, I didn't click on the files, and they're all saying failed." Should we try to redo them maybe? The little
No, we can
circle.
do this from the back end because it's normally just they're all there, but maybe it is good to know. Maybe it is just that it needs to how do you say, re-chunk them. So yeah, you don't need to do anything because it says all, but it's probably just a couple of files. I would think the error message on your side looks more dramatic than it is on the back side.
Okay.
So I will check right after the call. Thank
Alrighty.
you.
And
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for all this. I appreciate it, and I need to drop and go back to work. So
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah,
talk to you
definitely.
all later.
Thank you so
Keep
much for
going.
taking the time.
Bye.
Okay. All
Thanks.
right.
I need to run too.
Yes, do so. And then if there are more questions, you know where we are.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right, everyone. Thank you. See you very soon. I'm gonna hop on these errors.
Katrin, do you just have one
Thank
moment?
you.
Yeah, sure. I do. Thank you, Sarah. Sleep well.